everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Zaria Off Script. I'm your host, Zaria, and today we're keeping it off script and we're keeping it fun. Last episode was pretty serious, pretty heavy, so I wanted this episode today to be light, fun, like we did the last time. So we're going to do Reddit stories again. But these Reddit stories, chow, mess. Immediately, mess. So let's get into it. All right, guys. So before we get into the Reddit stories, remember I said that every week I want to come with a quote of the week, just something, inspirational, something to live by, whatever. This one, I have a quote because it is somebody else's words, but it's actually a tweet, a screenshot of a tweet that I saw, and it had me so gobsmacked. I'm like, yeah, actually, like, print this out, post it on my fridge. All right. So the original tweet said, "Doubling back be so fun sometimes. LMAO, like, let me see if this bitch stupid enough to give me another chance." So somebody quoted it and said, "See how y'all niggas be talking about y'all? Open your ears. Open your ears, dead ass." That quote is going to be the quote of the week because truly, guys, women, my girls, free us from the mental slavery of these N words, dead ass. Do you see how they talk about us? They think of women as just stupid, dumb, easy, overly going broads. Gone are the days. So let this quote of the week reign loud and true. If for nothing else, we can't be so easygoing with these N words. I am a believer in doubling back. Sometimes it's very circumstantial, but you have to get something out of it in return. You know what I'm saying? Like there has to be something that comes of it before you can say, let me give this person another chance, more of my energy, more of my time. Because time is currency, time is money, right? So I could even go into a little spiel about that, but we'll just stick to that. These men be thinking that we're stupid, dumb, easy, overly going every single time. Enough is enough because mama didn't raise no fool. Our mothers literally didn't raise us to be fools. So, like, let's kind of stop that. Please and thank you. All right, guys. So we're gonna get right into our Reddit stories for the day, and our first story is gonna come from r/entitled people. The title reads: Entitled fitness attendee tries using her lipstick to write an X on equipment she's gonna use. This happened yesterday afternoon at a gym. A woman was making her way to different pieces of equipment in the gym, only she didn't sit to use any. Instead, she used her lipstick to make an X on the equipment. I walk over and ask what she's doing after she puts an X on the final piece of equipment. And she said she's labeling which equipment she will be using when she comes out of the locker room, then disappears to the locker room. When she returns, she finds everything she had labeled occupied, and she walks over to me as I'm training someone and says, "What's going on?" She reserved her spots. I told her there's no reserving equipment and people had to clean her marks before using the equipment. I told her if I caught her trying to use any kind of makeup again on the equipment to in a way claim it as hers while she's in the locker room, I'll get my boss to talk to her about how unsanitary it is to use any kind of makeup on equipment just to reserve a spot. She had to wait for every piece of equipment, then she got to get her workout in. I promise, guys, I know how to read. This person just didn't use any punctuation. So I'm like trying to figure out like where the breaks are as I go. All right. I wanted to start with this story in particular because it's on the lighter side. It's really funny and it's actually so like it perfectly encapsulates what be going on in the gym. Okay. I've been to many a gym. I've been to Planet Fitness, Lifetime Athletic, YMCA. I've been to Lifetime Athletic. And there's a couple others that I've been to, Crunch, 24 hour, and then now my apartment gym. These people be so entitled. And it's so crazy because I feel like we have lost the concept of shared spaces. Okay. We're out in public, we're in the gym, we're in a coffee shop, we're in the mall. We're sharing space with each other. People don't have social awareness any longer. So now we're just like operating amongst, or existing amongst people who are just like the common decency lacks. It's not there. It's not even a thing of lack. It's non-existent. I mean, what do you mean you're going around reserving spots and putting makeup on equipment that you're not even using in the moment? Sure, you can say, okay, I'm going to take a mental note of what machines I want to go and use, but to go and cross it off, put an X on the spot, X marks the spot, and then you're like mad that you see other people using it, but you weren't using it, babe. Where, oh, I just want to know, like, what kind of coconut tree did these people fall out of? Words to Kamala Harris, like, what kind of coconut tree did these people fall out of where they feel like I'm gonna do what I want to do and nobody's gonna say anything about it? Baby, you're paying $26 a month just like I am. And I might be paying more because I like a black. I'm talking about Planet Fitness. They got that black membership. I might be paying more because I want more. I want more of the perks. So what exactly do you think you got going on here? You're paying a $10 membership, I'm paying $26 membership, and you're acting as if I committed a crime because I'm using the equipment that was open. It just had a little spot on it. It had a little makeup on it. Ain't nothing some disinfectant and wipes can't handle. What's happening? How did we get here? I blame the parents. I blame the old folks. Y'all got lazy with raising y'all's kids, and now they're running amok in the real world with their counterparts. All right, guys. So our next story comes from r/slash am I the asshole? And the title reads, Am I the asshole for not letting a woman I was dating know she had a time limit? And he put quotes around time limit. So I met this woman online. We were dating for a while, and then I asked her to be official. She told me she needed some time to think about it, and I told her okay. What I didn't tell her, though, was in fact that I wasn't going to wait for her too long. We still went out once after she asked for more time, but like a week after our conversation, I simply let her know we aren't going to work out. She asked why, and I was honest. She simply took too long to decide if she wanted something more. She called me an asshole and told me what an asshole move to do and that she just needed time and that giving her a time limit on this was bullshit. I didn't really respond, but I am curious if I was unreasonable. No, not the asshole, because I have a story like this, like literally just like this. Like, and it's so crazy because I was just talking to the gentleman that like I had this interaction with. I recently spoke to him, and for us it was miscommunication, but let me give you the context, right? He met me outside. He was like, I'm interested, da da da. And so we got each other's contact, we started talking, and we talked for like a week and a half. And then after a week and a half of us just conversing, I think a weekend had already passed by. I'm like, bro, like we talk every day, we text and we FaceTime to call. We talk every day. You haven't asked me out. I'm done. Like I'm not about to be pen pals with anybody. And I had told myself that if somebody who approaches me doesn't make a move like fast or soon, I don't even want to say immediately, but like how much time do you need before you ask somebody out on a date? So I said, if you don't ask me out, I'm just gonna see myself out because I'm not doing pen pal relationship. I'm not here for, especially if we're not long distance. If we're in the same state and we're like our cities are nearby, I drive, you drive, you have a job, I got a job. What's going on? You understand what I'm saying? So it's like I told myself I give myself the standard for Zaria is you don't ask me out within a week and we're not doing long distance and you don't ask me out within a week. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Had a great time. I'll see you next time. Literally. So no, I don't think this guy's an asshole because now in his case, they dated for a little bit and now it's getting to the time of relationship. Like how much time do you need to decide if you want to be in a relationship with someone? Like I'm confused. Not to say, and like I'm not even trying to shit on the girl because sure, maybe you were talking to other people and you wanted to figure out like, is this the one I really want? Whatever, which as the man, that would make me feel shitty because it's just like, damn, like you don't even know if you really like me for real. You just like spending time with me, but you don't want to be serious with me. But on her part, fine, okay, take your time. I'm just not sticking around for it. And I gave you time. If I told you, like, yeah, like take however much time you need, like if you, no, Let me rephrase. Don't take however much time you need because I'm not sticking around for however much time you need. Take the time. But in my head, I know, okay, I agreed to time, but the time I'm giving you is only a week. Anything more than that, absurd. And I'm going to see myself out. I gave you the respect. Give me the respect. How am I an asshole? Because I told myself, yeah, after a week, this girl's playing with my feelings and I'm on to the next. No, it just sounds like you were stringing me along now. And now I'm looking at you like, yeah, I dodged a bullet. Not the asshole, if you ask me. All right, guys. So our next story is going to come from Am I Overreacting? And the title reads, Am I overreacting for making my husband sleep in the car because he bought his ex's ashes on our honeymoon? Okay. Okay, I know this sounds insane. I, 29 female, just married to my husband, 32 male, 2 weeks ago. We've been together for 4 years, and he lost his previous girlfriend to cancer about 6 years ago. I've always known about her, and he still wears a necklace with some of her ashes in it, which I had never had a problem with. I know grief is complicated, but here's what happened. We went on our honeymoon to a beautiful cabin in the mountains. The first night, everything was going great. We had dinner, opened a bottle of wine, lit some candles, super romantic. Then I noticed a small wooden box on the bedside table. I asked what it was, and he casually said, "Oh, that's just a bit of Lily. I always bring her to places that are special to me." I thought he was joking. He was not. Turns out he bought a small urn with his ex's ashes on our honeymoon, like the actual trip meant to celebrate our love and new life together. I was so stunned I didn't even know what to say. That night I asked him politely but firmly to sleep in the car because I needed space to process. He said I was overreacting and disrespecting his grief, that Lily was part of his journey. It's not like she's here in person. But to me, it felt like he bought another woman, his dead ex, on our honeymoon. Am I insane? I haven't told anyone in our lives yet because I'm afraid they'll think I'm heartless. But I honestly feel like this was way too far. So, am I overreacting? Okay. All right. And okay. So, no. No, like, no. Grief is such a funny thing because it really is one of those things that you can't tell someone how to grieve and how to process their grief, right? And it looks so different in so many forms because a therapist will tell you when you are breaking up with someone, treat that relationship as a death, right? Like grieve that the end of that relationship and understand it as the end. It's closing a chapter. When you actually lose a person, completely different. The sentiment remains the same, but it's so different because it's like this person no longer exists. It's not even a thing of like the relationship is over. It's more about I'll never bump into this person again. I can never reach out to this person. I can never, you know what I mean? So it's like grief is so weird in that way. But when is enough, right? And I'm talking relationship aspects because it's one thing to grieve your parent and one thing to grieve a friend. To grieve like an ex, mm, that's a little complicated. I don't think this person is overreacting because what that'll do for me is make me feel like, are you only here with me because she's gone? Right? And sure, the short answer could be yes, I am, because clearly the person that I was with before and I loved before is no longer here. So I had to move on in my life and find somebody new. But I mean, let's dig a little deeper. Am I a placeholder for this person? Did you just replace this space with me because she no longer holds it? So that whatever relations or whatever feelings or sentiment you have with me, it's not that of what you had with this person, which it could never be the same. And I feel like don't confuse what I'm saying with trying to replace like or like find this person in somebody else. It's not that. It's more of just like I'm your partner now, though, and I'm here now. So why are you inviting someone else, dead or alive, into our relationship? Grieve the person, experience the feeling, feel the loss. I'm not discounting that. Why are you inviting her into our relationship? Because she still was a girlfriend at the end of the day. An ex now because of unforeseen and unfortunate circumstances, but an ex nonetheless. So why are you inviting your ex into the relationship? You know, these are times where I wish I had a co-host because I want to hear somebody else's perspective, and go off in the comments and talk to me about it. Like, what, like, am I missing something? I feel like she's not overreacting for being like, yeah, take you and your ex, go in the car because what the, and we're on our honeymoon. We're not on a date, a vacation, we're on our honeymoon. Like, we just got married. Why are you inviting your ex into our union? You see where I'm going with this? I don't like it. I don't think she's overreacting. I don't think she's an asshole. And honestly, she handled it quite nice. She said she's very calm, cool, collected. Sleep in a car and take Ashley with you. I would have been worse. Me and Ashley would have been tussling. Me and Ashley would have been fighting. So it's like not overreacting. Like, no, sorry. I stand by her. All right, so our next story is going to come from r slash true off my chest, and the title reads, I think my friend is making her child sick on purpose. I'm 17, and my friend, who I'll call Mary, is 18. She has a 4-year-old daughter who I'll call Lily. Mary had her baby at 14. I have nothing against teen parents, but there are a bunch of weird things Mary does that makes me suspicious. First, Lily is always sick. She seems to always have a fever or to be throwing up. Mary claims Lily has heart and breathing problems, and she hospitalizes Lily all the time. Every single time they're discharged, 4 or 5 days later, Lily is sick again, but with something different. I also see Mary give Lily a lot of medication, and she had Lily fitted with a feeding tube. Sorry, that was written weird. When Lily seems to be getting sicker, Mary stays very calm, not very concerned, just calm. It's obvious Mary loves Lily. She's very attentive and is a good parent in many ways. But she constantly complains about how sick Lily is and how they're just trying to get an answer. That behavior makes me uneasy. Another reason I'm worried is that when Lily gets sick, she runs to Mary for comfort, and Mary seems to get a lot of attention for that. What really set off alarm bells for me was when Mary said she wants to start a TikTok page with Lily, posting about how sick she is and about how many views she'd get from being a teen mom with a sick child. I don't know if I'm overreacting or if these are real pieces of a puzzle, but I wanted to get this off my chest. This book here that I have not read yet. I read literally chapter 1 and I haven't picked it up since, but it stays on my side table because I fully intend to throw myself into this book when I have the time. This book is exactly about that, okay? The mom is fighting between being called, I think it's Munchausen by proxy, and actually dealing with the sickness of a kid, but we can't tell what's actually happening, right? Chapter 1 literally just like introduced us into that. Now with Lily and Mary, this is one of those things where you really can't question it too much because you would be the asshole for being like, is your child even sick for real, or are you just playing up on it? Because now if this kid is like has a chronic illness, right, or a weakened immune system, and just unfortunately being around other kids, being outside, living life, like you're gonna get sick. Um, yeah, things happen. The moment you open your mouth talking about making a social media page to exploit your kid and her illness for views, I'm calling CPS, DHS, all them people. Because why is one of your first thoughts about going online, posting your kid, who I think at this time, if she's 18, she had the kid at 14, her kid is 4 years old, right? Your kid is only 4. Why are you posting your kid who doesn't even have a concept of social media for real? It doesn't have the concept of reach of like having an outreach, or an online presence. You want to go and exploit this kid and their illness online for what? For sympathy? For on a broader spectrum? Because she already said if when Lily gets sick, she runs to Mary, and Mary gets some type of like attention from that. It's giving very much Munchausen by proxy. That bitch is weird. Like that bitch is weird. I'm sorry. Some of these people are weird. Some of these women, I saw a TikTok video that said it perfectly. Some of these women be predators and are very, very, very weird. And it's unfortunate because you would think that as a mom, naturally, your first inclination when you think of a mother is someone who is a protector, a nurturer, and a provider, right, for their kid. When you now break open into the real world of it all, you remember that sure, that's ideally what a mom is, but a lot of these mothers are not fit. A lot of these mothers are mentally unwell. So now you have people like Mary who, or like the Gypsy Rose girl, right? Their parents are doing things to garner attention from an outsource, but for themselves, not even for the kid. The kid getting the attention for being sick is just like a byproduct of the attention that they're trying to seek for themselves. They are sick. They need to seek help. I don't even know how would you deal with someone like that, because it's like, do you say, man, you're weird, fuck you, I'm out of here, I'm out of this friendship, or are you like, well, no, I gotta stick around because she's still a good friend. And or are you like, well, I have to stick around because I have to protect this girl just in case she accidentally kills this little kid and tries to get sympathy on having a dead child? Like it's so many different moving points that you have to consider. But all in all, weird as fuck. I don't think she's overreacting. I think what would have spooked me, like I think it spooked her, was the comment of TikTok. Why are you going online? What are you going online to talk about your kid's illness for? What are you trying to get out of that? What are you trying to what reach are you trying to have? So no, I don't think she's overreacting, and I think and I hope sooner than later she actually confronts her weird friend about that, because what the hell are you even on? I don't know how to check for updates, y'all. I still don't know how to use Reddit. I hope this was only posted 27 days ago too, so this is less than a month old. Um Hopefully I can come back with I'm gonna keep this one in my save tab because I would like to know if she ever talked to her weird ass friend about being weird about her kid and her illness. All right, guys. So we're going to end it off with a story from r/slash am I overreacting, and this one is fucking ridiculous. Like, this is insane. So the title reads, am I overreacting? Guy I'm seeing peed in my cat's litter box. Yes, you heard that right. Hello, everyone. I'm in quite the situation. I had been seeing this guy for about 2-ish weeks. Things were going incredibly well. It felt like he was checking all the boxes. Felt very comfortable around him, etc. About the fifth time seeing him, we spent nearly the whole day together and we were walking back to my apartment. I expressed I had to pee, so once I got into my apartment, I went straight to the bathroom. He went into my bathroom to wait. Oh, sorry. He went into my bedroom to wait. I was in there for maybe 2 minutes max, and I walked into my room. That's where I saw him zipping up his fly, standing over my cat's litter box. I shouted, "What are you doing?" And he said he had to use the bathroom really bad. So I told him, "It's open." I walked over to my cat's litter box and saw the entire thing filled with urine, splashed up on the sides and everything. Like it was certainly not my cat's urine. He was in the bathroom for quite some time. When he walked back into my room, I told him he needed to clean it. He had obviously never cleaned a cat's litter box before, which is fine. He doesn't have pets, so I took it over and I ended up cleaning it myself. He explained that night before he left that he was sorry and that he just really had to go. Also, that he wasn't sure why he did it. The next day, I texted him and expressed that I didn't want to see him anymore and this was all just too uncomfortable for me. He sent me a long apology showing regret and that he really wants to keep seeing me as he feels things were going well. He also told me that he had booked a urologist appointment to figure out what's going on. Some things to keep in mind. No, he was not drunk. He had, I think, 3 or 4 White Claws the whole day and is extremely tall. I'm meeting up with him soon to discuss the situation and to hear what he had to say, as he wanted to express some things to me in person. There's an update, I'm going to wait. But there's a comment I saw that actually made me chuckle. Somebody commented, it felt like he was checking all the boxes. Guess he wanted to check the litter box as well. You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy. So what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, why would you pee in my cat's litter box? Granted, okay, that's better than the sink, the kitchen sink especially, better than the garbage can, and better than my carpet. There's a day that I'm gonna do a podcast on like some of my most ridiculous like dating experiences, but I dated a guy who spent the night at my house one time and he was so drunk that he got up and he was about to pee in the corner of my room. And at the time, I had wood floors. I didn't have like carpet or anything, it was just wood floor. Why are you about to pee in anyway? Anyway, all that being said, I'm happy he chose the litter box and not the floor, garbage can, or kitchen sink, but that doesn't excuse peeing in my cat's litter box. You can't hold it. You can't hold it. And then she said like he waited in the bedroom. Like you could have went knocked on the door. Hey, gotta use the bathroom. Are you almost done? Texted, hey, are you almost done? I gotta use the restroom really bad. Why are you like, oh, sometimes this is what I'm saying. Call back to story one. We are existing amongst a people that have no self-awareness, no social awareness, no spatial awareness. We're just moving and grooving in this life with people who have no common sense. It's not even common decency anymore, it's common sense. What do you mean you went to my cat's litter box to bust a piss? because you couldn't hold it. You are, how old is he? Did they say? They didn't even say. You're 37. You're 37. Why? What is happening? How have you made it this long without being able to control yourself in such a way? And then, like, we're still getting to know each other. I can't even remember if this is first date or multiple dates. Nonetheless, it don't make much of a difference. First date would have been even worse, but still, it don't make much of a difference because we're dating, still getting to know each other. Why the fuck would you do that? Why the fuck would you do that? And then I tell you to clean it up. You don't even know how to clean it. Now I have to come and clean your pissy piss out of my cat's litter box where my cat's supposed to go and do her business. I have to come and clean up your human business, your big man human business. I'm over it. I'm over it. These people are scary. These men are scary. These stories are insane. And I'm choosing to believe that they're all fake for my own mental sanity because there's no way. I refuse to believe we exist amongst people this insane. No. Update. After reading through many comments, I decided it's probably best I don't meet with him. There's been valid points for either options of meeting slash not meeting with him, but I feel there's nothing he can explain to make me stick around. Also, guys, this is not fake or AI. It's a crazy situation though, lol. Also, my cat has been doing fine. I bought a new litter box. Didn't I just say, I literally just said I'm choosing to believe this is fake and this is AI just for my own mental sanity and my own. And now you're coming back, no, it's not fake, it's not AI. What do you mean this grown man came and peed in your cat's litter box? Why? Why? And I'm actually glad she didn't meet with him because me, like, I probably would have went and been like, okay, let me like hear him out. But honestly, truthfully, what is there to hear out about a man coming into your home, going into your bedroom, going to your cat's litter box, unzipping his pants, bringing out his member, urinating, splashing up on the sides of the box and everything, urinating, putting his pee pee back inside, zipping up his pants, buttoning it. You disappear off to my bathroom now for however long because she said he was in there for a minute. You're in there doing whatever, probably pacing back and forth like, why the fuck did I do that? Did she catch me? Did it? Yeah, you're fucking weird. And then you have the nerve to tell me, please, like, I'm so sorry. I'm going to go see a urologist. Let's try this again. Get the fuck out my fucking face before I really start to act a fool. Get out my home. Get out my phone. Block me back. People are scary. This is not even a men are scary situation. People are scary. People are scary as hell because never did you do that and think that, yeah, like, oh yeah, we're going to be cool. I'm actually calling the cops. Like, no, stay right there. No, stay right there. Stay right there. I'm calling the police. They're on the way. All right, guys. So that's going to be the end of Zaria Off Script today. Thank you guys for joining me on another episode. I hope you enjoyed some of these crazy Reddit stories, and I hope to see you at the next one. Bye.